Hello, everybody. Welcome to our session on managing conflicts of interest. My name's Stephen Fairclough. Let me tell you a little bit about what we're going to cover today. We need to define what a conflict of interest is so we can think about how we manage it. And actually, I think this is perhaps more around managing the risk of conflicts and interests. So sometimes we can't manage, sometimes we need to disclose, sometimes we can prevent, but that's all included in our scope for today. We hope that once we've had an overview and we've defined conflicts, we've looked at the laws and regulatory aspects around particularly what the FCA expect, and think about what you can include in your own policies, you'll be in a much better position to manage conflicts of interest, meet the regulatory obligations, and so you've got the learning objective there as well as the agenda. Today's session should be around about 30 minutes, and of course you'll have some multiple choice questions after the session based on content of today. Let me start with our overview and think about defining conflicts of interest for us. So, and this is perhaps more of a formal definition where there is a perception, or there is a perception of a decision made that affects one set of responsibilities for a client typically, but that decision is impacted or affected by the impact elsewhere. The typical one would be, I don't do this for my client because it's better for me or it would cost me money. It absolutely could be between one client and another as well. But I tend to do the practical aspects of, is the client going to suffer detriment, or is the client and the decisions we make for them designed to benefit primarily somebody else, okay, either us or another client? Where that happens, we might well have that conflict of interest. And sometimes I think this wording is interesting. If there is a conflict of interest, that's on us to understand it, recognize it, manage it. Sometimes there's a perception, and in the eye of the beholder, perception is the only reality that we've got to deal with there. So a perception, and that can damage the reputation of the firm, the trust that the client has in us, the ongoing relationship and commercial relationship with that client as well, that we've spent time and effort trying to win. So I want to not only think about how do we do the right thing, I want to think about how do we ensure that we are seen to do and believed to be doing the right thing as well. And so there's a question that I guess I'll try and answer for you, but how does an undeclared conflict of interest, something that maybe an employee hasn't mentioned, hasn't disclosed, how does that impact the client's perception of us and the individual working with us, their professionalism, their integrity? Are they trustworthy? That they didn't recognize that and flag it, deal with it, address it.